Welcome everybody in our audience to Streamlined Supply Chains, Simplified IoT Solutions for Operational Excellence. It's a lot to say, I know. So, my name is Daniel Beaver. I'm Head of Business Development for IoT Services and SaaS Services for Nefab. Today I'm joined by my colleague Ben Hughes, Key Account Manager for Nefab at Rolls-Royce, and our esteemed guest, Mr. Seth Piercefield, who is the Logistics Manager at Rolls-Royce. So in a few moments, we're going to talk a bit about a homegrown simplified IoT tool that we developed at Nefab quite a few years back. But before I do that, I thought I might show you a little bit about who Nefab is, as you may not be familiar with us. So just a couple slides on that. So Nefab has been in supply chains operating really for 75 years now. It's our 75th anniversary. And we've been supplying supply chains with packaging solutions primarily, but because we wanted to be where our customers are, we've actually branched out around the world, as you see here in this slide. We have 130 sites in 38 countries. I think this number is probably over 5,000 employees now, 250 engineers and designers, 30 engineering teams and different engineering centers, 70 active patents, and ISTA certified test labs. So this really is because of working together with our segment customers. We're working in multiple segments in LIB and mobility, telecom, semicom, defense and aerospace, datacom and cloud, healthcare, energy, mining and construction. That's to name the main ones that we're working in. There are others. And what are we working on? Well, for all these years, we've provided supply chains with packaging solutions, as I mentioned. And inside of the packaging that we provide, we really are utilizing just about every kind of material. And because we have all those test labs and engineers and designers, we're always working with our customers around the world to figure out what the most sustainable package is that we can help on CO2 emissions, and also what materials really fit the best for our customer once we define what it is they need for their assets that they want to ship. So that can be anything from fiber, plastics, plywood, wood, and many other materials. Logistics services is another big area where we provide our clients with extra capacity for packing services and pooling services. But really what we want to talk about here today, and really where the heart of our simplistic operations is in digital services. So already back around the time of the turn of the century, Nefab started into realizing that returnable packaging, the future of it, would be digital. So we started already tracking in year 2000 project assets for out of China for our customers, and then that led into full-blown products for IoT solutions that our clients could access. So really the way Nefab simplifies and breaks this down is in three main portals on our platform. We have a returnables platform, we have a high-value assets platform, and we have installation management platform. Now, although we'll talk about returnables today, I thought I might just speak about what high-value assets and installation management is. For those two portals, we have the capability to help our clients track their assets around the globe. Often you'll track something, you put a tracker on something, try to get some data, but maybe you lose what's happening in between site A and site B. So this portal actually gives you live tracking, not only on the location of where your assets are, but also the environmental readings that go along with that. So if you have $100,000 to $1 million asset that you're sending to a location in another country, you want to know exactly what's happening to that asset as it's being shipped and when it arrives. So the final installation management portal is more for when companies are sending and sourcing from multiple areas, and all of the equipment needs to show up on site to be built on site. You want to make sure that all those assets are going to show up at the same time, so the guy building it can actually put it together on site. And so what we provide is pack instructions for actually how the package should be arranged inside your container or however you're shipping it, and then also how it gets unpacked. And so that way you don't end up with any kind of missing assets. So those really are our three portals that we have simplified down for our customers. Oops, sorry. But really the best part about the platform and the reason I say that it's simplified and easy to use is in the right-hand corner of the main interface is our actions required portion. This is an area where management can see and have accountability for everybody who is responsible for a certain area, and you get warnings to let you know that something's wrong. If you have an asset sitting too long, you get a warning letting you know that it's no longer moving. So all these areas are tracked. I could go through them, but if you'd like the more detailed information on the platform, we can go into it perhaps after. But really wanted to present the fact that this portal is easy to use because we as a company have stayed technology independent and hardware independent. So what that means is for our customers and clients, if they have devices they're already using, or they want a new device to link into our portal, we can do that. And we don't develop our own hardware, and that allows us to work according to what their real needs are. So we're working with over 100 different devices, and on the site we get over 50 million events per hour. So, but to really to dive into how this portal and how our hybrid of technology works, I think we should go ahead and talk with Seth and Ben to see how we're bringing operational efficiency to their organization. So I'll just step over here.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. No, we're excited to be here talking about our relationship with Rolls-Royce and the tracking IoT journey we're on there. I'll give you a brief overview of the site that we're supporting and what they do, and then we'll talk about kind of the history of our relationship. So the Indianapolis site for Indianapolis for Rolls-Royce, they manufacture and assemble turbine engines, mainly in the defense sector. You can see a couple of the applications there on the screen. The Nefab partnership started in 2016, where we were sourced as the packaging integrator, tying together all of the packaging legs of the work stream, trying to make it more cohesive. So today we're responsible for packaging engineering, instruction writing, returnable loop management for all of the returnable containers in their fleet, and now digital services to use as a tool to help us manage that. And that's what we'll talk about today.
Excellent. Thank you. Can I still be heard? Okay, test. Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, thank you, Ben. So Seth, how about on the operational side? Did you experience some operational challenges that led you to Rolls-Royce seeking out a track and trace capability?
Yeah, absolutely. So the initial reason for us seeking this out was fleet management for our returnable containers. Rolls-Royce has recently moved to an off-site warehousing solution in Indianapolis. So we were put us in a position where we needed to create a returnable fleet to protect our aerospace parts in transit and in storage. We now have thousands of kitting solutions and returnable containers flowing through our Indianapolis campus, so we needed to find a way to better manage those while also providing greater visibility to manufacturing.
Excellent, yeah. So very vital. So how did you end up using the portal to help with business decisions?
Absolutely, yeah. So the first and most obvious reason is real-time locations of our containers and assets. That helps facilitate good decision making with our manufacturing team. It allows us to see bottlenecks before they actually progress and catch them early on. Another benefit for us is just understanding the right fleet size. So we're able to analyze the fleets that we have and just identify if there's maybe too many containers in that fleet, or maybe there's opportunity to remove some and repurpose them. And both of those help us facilitate good decision making. I'm someone who believes that greater visibility drives better business decisions. And the main one for me, and this is something a great benefit that I see every single day, is the reduced manual effort it takes to locate these containers. All these containers move around our campus and they need to be in the right place at the right time. So we previously have taken a lot of time to locate them. Now with this portal, it helps us reduce that time quite a bit.
Okay, so you mentioned operations. You work with a lot of operational managers. We're looking at a slide of the portal front page here. Have you seen that other operational managers? What is their opinion of this? Do they find it difficult, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
They find it difficult.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Trick question. Yeah.
Not very difficult. I mean, we got some good examples. We're testing a couple different use cases in different areas, and we actually have one that we really haven't done any training on, and I've already got feedback that it's helping them and they're seeing the benefit already.
So that's great. That's good news. That's what you need. So Ben, what tracking technology, refresh my memory, what did we actually use for Rolls-Royce when we implemented our portal for them? What was the background tech that we used? We used a hybrid, I believe.
Yeah, so we investigated all kinds of tracking technology, RFID, 4G, GPS, or in a combination of all of them. What we ended up settling on is a Bluetooth infrastructure. So this is a closed loop network where these parts are used in the manufacturing process and travel between the warehouse, the manufacturing site, and then back to the warehouse with raw material and finished goods. So everything is in that closed loop. So the path we went down was outfitting all of the manufacturing sites, canvassing them in Bluetooth readers so that every corner of the facility was covered, and that nothing can hide in those facilities. And that was the right technology application for that use case. But certainly, as other use cases do come down the line, which it sounds like other people are asking Seth, to track more and more stuff, we can use any variety of that technology, and it all shows up on the same portal.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because Nefab, we sometimes get asked about the new technology that's out there, and thankfully, a lot of these hardware providers for trackers actually come to us and ask us to work with them to put the their trackers connected to our portal. So for sure, there's always new technology coming available, and we want to keep working with that.
Yep. And the other part about it is the installation. The devices we used are completely wireless. They don't require power. They're battery powered for up to 5 years. This is, again, just specifically the hardware we used. So it was great. We literally went around with a high lift in one day in each facility and zip tied them to the plant structure so that it was completely covered in one day per facility. So there's 1 million square feet now of manufacturing space and logistics space covered by a reader, a Bluetooth reader, to see all of the beacons that we have in service. It's really great.
Yeah. And actually, we have an Nefab, a 10-year tracker, also that for future purposes may be incorporated as well. So I guess Seth, if you had to look at the audience and if there's other businesses out there that wanted to search for track and trace solutions, what kind of recommendations would you make?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, start small. Choose one clearly defined use case and go from there. I'm sure once you get the ball rolling, you're going to have a large amount of use cases coming out of the woodwork. So you'll have no shortage of those, but don't try to do it all at once. Pick one use case and start small and go from there and mature as you grow.
Yeah, that's good advice, yeah.
I would also second that and say IT and cybersecurity, that's a big one. Don't wait to talk to them. Definitely discuss with them early on in your process. That was the most time-consuming part for us, so make sure to engage them early on.
Yeah, I agree. The IT departments are always, they should be included when this tracking system starts. It's vital. Yeah.
Especially in the defense sector. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. Was there any questions about the security of our platform for your company, being that you're in?
Certainly some questions. I had to connect my data privacy team with your IT team, and they worked that out. So I'm not too privy on all the acronyms that were used, but I know that the defense encryption that was necessary for us to approve it was there, and your team worked very well with our team to make sure we had all the encryptions and data privacies needed.
So that's fantastic. So it's really been a great journey there at Rolls-Royce. I've had the privilege of going down there and being with you guys when you were setting it up, and now when I look at it and see really how it's developing on our platform, it's really good to see how it's expanding out. So I think this really is a good example of operational excellence. And I think if you look at the slide here, we have these are typical outcomes of a project that we engage with our clients. It's really all about reducing the turnaround time, finding the bottlenecks that you guys work through, understanding the movements and flows, reducing ideally any missing assets or damaged assets, having accountability for that. So I think, these are vital areas. If you're trying to pick an IoT solution, it should be a platform that's simplified enough that all management and involved parties can really work with it as well. And there's no limitation to how many users we can put on the platform. So this is also good for expanding out. So
Seth, we talked about the closed loop application. What's next for tracking? What else do we want to track moving forward?
It's very exciting to think forward and look into the future here. So we do have some additional closed loop applications that we're looking at. We have some material that goes off-site to some sub-tier suppliers. So those are already moving off-site and coming back in our returnable containers. So we're going to start looking at tracking those eventually. And then we would like to venture into the open loop world. We would like to track, we would see a lot of value in tracking our deliveries to our vendors and our customers.
So I think that that sums it up beautifully as far as where it can be applied across different departments and where you guys are going with it. I want to leave room for questions and answers. So I think we can do that now if there's any questions from the audience. Oh, we have a question back here. I think they have a mic for you.
Question about the implementation of the hardware and also the platform. Is it something that's done internally, or is it an implementation partner that's third party?
No, that's done internally. We go to where our clients are. It's a great question. We don't use third parties. This entire platform, the entire portal, has been homegrown at our headquarters with our IT team there. So we have really fantastic people located, around the world. And when we have a client need, we immediately react to that. We usually will engage in a meeting of some kind when they have initial interest, and then we'll have them fill out like a questionnaire, and from that questionnaire, we'll put together really hardware that we think would best suit them, and if they accept that, then we engage. We do a pilot program. If the pilot program starts and goes forward, we go there, we hold the hand of the client, we show up, we install. We also initiate either a weekly or bi-weekly call with the client to make sure everything's going well. So the installation's all handled by us, really through the whole cycle of the...
And for us, for our experience, I happen to be co-located on site with Seth every day. It's where I'm based. But then a member of the digital services team walked us through the preparation and then flew down and was there with us on implementation day, tuned everything in, and we still have follow-up calls, further refining the network. We've had to go back in a couple of times and move some detectors, but again, we cut the zip ties, move them, re-zip tie them. It's really easy for us. So we've had a really good experience with implementation. Yeah, it's been my first implementation, so first and only, but it went very, very well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important to be there with the client to really figure out. Some devices are built differently than others, so sometimes there's questions about durability or whether a device can be screwed in or glued? Is the glue going to last? All these things. So sometimes you find that out on site, depending on where they're looking to track it, and also the different environmental, readings that can be blocked by certain metal, or so we help them locate the trackers where they need to be. Yeah.